The Plug I Met 2 by Benny the Butcher and Harry Fraud. Benny the Butcher links back up with Harry Fraud for the sequel to their critically acclaimed project, The Plugs I Met. With Harry Fraud handling the production, does it come out good? How do we feel about it? Here's an honest review of The Plug I Met 2 by Benny the Butcher and Harry Fraud.
Benny the Butcher, Harry Fraud, man. I saw this, came out a couple weeks ago, actually. I had listened to it, and but some other stuff came up, so we reviewed that instead. Benny the Butcher, Harry Fraud, man. How you feel about this album artwork?
Simple.
It's simple.
You know, I gotta use the pick of Scarface.
Why not?
Well,
If
exactly.
you're going to be talking about what he's talking about on this music,
street talk,
you might as well have a picture of Scarface and Sosa on the cover. Might as well, right?
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. I like that movie. I've seen it a billion times. I know.
Pretty sure a lot of people have.
I know almost the whole movie word for word.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people do.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The flow of this project, man. Look, this is Benny the Butcher rapping over Harry Fraud production, reminiscing about how he used to live. Recalling how he used to live.
Yes, he doesn't do this stuff anymore. I
mean, he never said it. I paid attention. I was just like, he never said present tense. It's all past tense.
He said his stories about that life, the street life.
Pretty much.
That's what he said. That's what it is.
Tony. Highlights, man. When Tony met Sosa. It kind of made me laugh when he said that. This shit feel like when Tony met Sosa. I was just like, I pretty much understand what you mean. It's just like,
my goodness,
yo, shit is on. It's a wrap. It's about to be on. Because once he met Sosa, it was on, man. He bought a tiger. You know what I'm saying? So I 100% understood. I love the wordplay that he presented throughout the whole project, as a matter of fact. But yeah, when Tony met Sosa is fire. Plug Talk featuring 2 Chainz. I can't even. This shit is fire, bro.
Tony.
I was annoyed, but it was fire though. I can't front. 2 Chainz killed it too. Like they both killed it. I love the flow that the flow that they rhymed to. Like just to bounce to it. It was crazy. Loved it.
What 2 Chainz say? I'll say happy birthday when it's not your birthday.
Yeah.
I was cracking up at that.
2 Chainz always says some old dumb shit that's hilarious.
He's like, man, I don't like you, so I'm gonna say happy birthday when it's not your birthday.
Funny guy, man. Talking Back featuring Fat Joe. Dope. I like it actually, man, when I hear Fat Joe just turning around and ripping some shit. So him and Fat Joe went back and forth, killed it. My favorite song on this project might be No Instructions. This joint right here is crazy. Love everything about this record. Longevity featuring French Montana and Jim Jones. I actually enjoyed this song. I know French said some dumb things, like some like elementary bars, but they actually made sense. Anyway, and Jim Jones and Benny killed it as well. Survivor's Remorse. I thought this was like probably his most intimate song on the project. Like him reminiscing about all his friends that actually got locked up doing all the things they're doing, and he feels bad because he's the one that got away. You know, he's not in jail for all of these things that he rapped about throughout the whole project. That's crazy. It's cool to see, you know, some people succeed and continue on in life. And Thanksgiving, man, this song is crazy. I love it, man. I love the beat. And just the one thing about the beat, the kick and the snare, if you just change the kick and the snare just by like a half a second, it just changes the whole vibe of that song. So I like the way Harry Fraud put the pocket that he put the whole song in, and it allowed Benny to do what he needed to do. So I enjoyed that song as well.
Cool. I enjoyed Plug Talk just because of 2 Chainz and, you know, that lyric I pointed out. And the beat was fire. Longevity. It was cool. If I could just block out. It sounded
like you were struggling to say it out loud.
It was cool, but I just like hearing French. I'm just like, nah. But I really like Jim Jones on this one. Yeah. And then Survivor's Remorse, I agree with you. Like I really love that vibe and everything about that. So yeah, those are my top 3.
Low lights, man. Look, rest in peace to Chinks, but I didn't like his hook on Overall. I don't think it's horrible, but we're talking about things that I didn't like about the project. And it was that. Aside from that, though, surprisingly, That's really all I could come up with. Like, if I would choose a feature on longevity, I wouldn't have picked French Montana, but it was serviceable. That's the best I can say about what French did. It was serviceable. But if I had an option, I mean, there was a lot of people I would have picked. I would even pick like A Boogie over French. And that's
Nah.
It depends on which A Boogie we getting.
This is like, if it's a history of that street talk, even though I don't like French, he serves that purpose.
I mean, he did get shot in the head.
He's been about that life. So I don't think A Boogie could have. I mean, I don't know that much about A Boogie. So
you might be right. I feel like A Boogie might have brought some dope melodic tone, but it might have changed the whole sound of the song if everybody else didn't do it as well. So yeah, you might get a point.
Yeah, man, my low light is more personal taste, man. I ain't about that street talk. So most of this was boring to me. Like, I mean, I just got to keep it honest and real. Like, Benny is nice when it comes to flowing, but it's just a subject matter that I don't care about, especially when it comes to this one. So if you ain't about that street talk, you ain't gonna like this.
I mean, I'm not, but I liked it.
Well, okay, some of y'all might not like this, but it's just like, I don't know. It's just listening to it, I'm like, yo, that was a cool flow. This is a cool beat. But at the end of the day, I don't recall none of this other than, you know, some funny bars by 2 Chainz, the cadence of French Montana, and, you know, the vibe of Survivor's Remorse. But other than that, this whole album just goes right through for me. So that's just me.
Final thoughts, man. Look, I think Benny has it on lock. At some point, he's got to expand what he's doing. Because I think it runs the course of potentially getting boring. You know what I'm saying? Even the greatest of all time have changed. Jay-Z's changed. Biggie had changed. Tupac changed multiple times. Kendrick has changed his topics ever so slightly, but he has. J. Cole, he's changed his topics. Went from wanting to fuck the baddest bitches and paying off Sally Mae to, I'm pretty sure he's done paying off Sally Mae, to talking about his relationship with his girl and making whack records about his best friend. Aside from that,
damn,
that album was whack. We're not gonna talk about that again. I love J. Cole. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up. But everybody has changed. You know what I'm saying, throughout their career. And Benny obviously he's been doing it for a while, but in this mode the Griselda's in, they're moving and everything like that. He got to figure out a way to evolve it and change it into something newer. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about the shiny suit shit. I think maybe he should look at Life After Death as somewhat of a template on how you could just change. And I'm not saying do what Life After Death did. I'm just saying listen to it and you could just see how Biggie changed from Ready to Die to Life After Death. Mind you, that was only 3 years that Biggie actually made that change. So, you know, evolve it. And but he's got it. He's got a dope flow, dope energy.
I think you make a great point, because that's probably why I was just like so blah during it, because we've heard this talk, even though this is a sequel to, you know, the first one and everything. I get that, but like you said, it's kind of getting to the point where it's just like, all right, what else can you bring to the table for me? You know, talked about how Conway and his rhyme scheme and everything is just so impressive. That's what keeps me invested. And then when I get to something like this, it's just like, I've heard this type of stuff before. So I guess that's what it is with me in this project, is the fact that it's cool for people who are into this. You know, this is what they vibe to, this is what they rock to. But if you want to continue to elevate your fan base, it's not going to grow if it's just going to stay right here. So that's where this album's leaving me.
Final grade. Look, man, I'm going to give Benny a check. I think the flows are on point. I think the beats are on point. I think this is some of Harry Fraud's best production that he's done. I was kind of skeptical of his production at one point, but I really like what he did here. I feel like this is not necessarily better than Burden of Proof, the last Benny the Butcher joint we reviewed, because that joint was ridiculous. But yeah, man, continue to do what you're doing. Continue to evolve and change a little bit. You know, you can keep some of this on the project as well, but, you know, make sure you continue to grow, continue to change. Look at 2 Chainz. Easy example.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a dash, just because, you know, I just feel like it's in the middle. If you vibe with it, this is all for you. But, you know, if you're like me and I'm tired of just hearing this kind of, you know, style, it may not be for you. So I still think he's a good artist. He got the charisma, he got the, you know, the bars and everything like that. But I like to see a little bit more.